There's a number that football clubs rarely speak out loud, because for most of them, it is simply unreachable. Real Madrid's brand value, as of the most recent estimate, sits at over $5 billion. Not their revenue, not their player assets, their brand alone. And to understand how a football club, a sports team, became one of the most financially dominant organizations on the planet, you have to go back much further than the trophies and much deeper than the pitch. Real Madrid was founded in 1902 in a city that was not yet a global capital. Spain was recovering from colonial collapse. Football was barely a decade old in Europe. And yet, from those early years, the club cultivated something that most institutions take generations to build, an identity that felt bigger than the game itself. They called themselves the Royal Club, a name granted by King Alfonso XIII. From the very beginning, Real Madrid understood the power of association. But the true turning point came in the 1950s, and it came wrapped in politics. Under Francisco Franco's dictatorship, Real Madrid became, whether willingly or not, the face of Spanish pride on the international stage. Franco's government saw in football what governments throughout history have always seen: a mirror in which the nation could admire itself. State-aligned media amplified Real Madrid's victories as national triumphs. Government-connected officials helped secure some of the greatest players in the world. The signing of Alfredo Di Stefano, arguably the most controversial transfer in football history, is still debated today. What is not debated is what it produced. 5 consecutive European Cups. Between 1956 and 1960, no team in the world could touch them, and a mythology was born. Mythology, it turns out, is extraordinarily good for business. Decades later, in the year 2000, a construction magnate named Florentino Pérez ran for the presidency of Real Madrid on a single, audacious promise. He would sign Luis Figo from Barcelona. The idea seemed almost theatrical. Figo was Barcelona's captain, their idol. Pérez promised that if he failed, he would refund every membership fee in the club. He did not fail. Figo arrived at the Bernabeu, and the sporting world stopped to watch. The era of the Galácticos had begun. What Pérez understood, at a time when most football clubs were still thinking like sports teams, was that Real Madrid was not selling football. It was selling spectacle. It was selling aspiration. The signing of Zinedine Zidane the following year for what was then a world record fee was not just a football decision. It was a marketing decision of breathtaking scale. Then came Ronaldo, then Beckham. Each signing was a global media event. Each one expanded the club's reach into markets that football had barely touched: Asia, the United States, the Middle East. Beckham alone is estimated to have generated over €300 million in commercial return during his 4 years at the club. But here is where the business model becomes truly sophisticated. Real Madrid did not simply spend money on stars and hope for the best. They built systems that turned success into revenue and revenue back into success. The Champions League is the engine at the center of this machine. UEFA distributes prize money, broadcast revenues, and performance bonuses across the competition, and Real Madrid, with a record 15 Champions League titles, has become the single greatest beneficiary in the history of the tournament. Each deep run in the competition generates tens of millions in direct income, but more importantly, it generates visibility. And visibility, in the modern media economy, is worth more than any prize check. Their commercial partnerships reflect this global reach with extraordinary precision. Adidas has been the club's kit supplier since 1998, in a deal that currently generates around €110 million annually, one of the largest kit deals in world sport. Emirates Airlines holds the stadium naming rights and the shirt sponsorship in an arrangement worth tens of millions per year. These are not local partnerships. They are global brands attaching themselves to a global brand. And the relationship works in both directions. Real Madrid's partners gained access to 500 million fans across 6 continents, and Real Madrid gains the financial stability to continue competing at the highest level without dependence on any single revenue stream. Then there is the Bernabeu itself. The historic stadium, already one of the most recognizable in the world, underwent a complete renovation completed in recent years, a project worth over €1 billion. And what emerged was not simply a football ground. It is a year-round entertainment venue, with a retractable pitch, a state-of-the-art roof, and technology infrastructure designed for concerts, boxing matches, NFL games, and corporate events. The renovated Bernabeu is projected to generate revenue every single day of the year, whether football is being played or not. It is, in every commercial sense, a cash-generating machine disguised as a cathedral. Digital infrastructure has been the final frontier. Real Madrid's social media presence spans hundreds of millions of followers across every major platform. Their content operation produces media in multiple languages, tailored specifically for their fanbase in Brazil, in Indonesia, in the United States, in Japan. They do not translate content, they create it locally. They were among the first football clubs to understand that a fan who will never sit in the Bernabeu can still buy a shirt, stream a match, wear a badge, and feel that they belong. This is the architecture of dominance, not just winning, though they win relentlessly, but building a structure in which winning and earning are the same motion. Every trophy increases commercial leverage. Every sponsorship deal funds the next Galáctico. Every global fan converts into a digital follower, a merchandise buyer, a revenue point on a spreadsheet in Madrid. Other clubs have tried to replicate this model. Some have spent more freely. Some have had more political backing. Some have tried to manufacture a mythology from scratch. And yet there is only one Real Madrid, because what they built over more than a century is something no money can simply buy. The belief, held by hundreds of millions of people across the world, that to watch them play is to witness something that matters. That belief is the business. And business, right now, has never been better.